Prynhawn da Gynhadledd, good afternoon. It's fantastic to be here in the city of Chartism for Plaid Cymru's Spring Conference. It was a series of events in and around Newport during the 1930s which saw the emergence of a liberation movement. Our ancestors in the Welsh working class and the middle classes stood up to demand their political and democratic rights. Gwynalf Williams said they were fighting against all the odds. The revolt wasn't just confined to this city. There was support in rural Carmarthenshire, in Llanidloes, and in the industrial coalfield. But it was here in Gwent where the colliers and the iron men defended the People's Charter with their lives. It was here where they called for a Silurian republic with full voting rights and accountable government for the people. Well, for men, at least. Well, it was a start. It was a utopian vision, and it echoed the French Revolution decades before. Even though the establishment defeated the Chartists in 1839, the struggle for the Charter and for democracy carried on. Chartism had caught the imagination. It laid the foundations for the people in Wales to be given the vote and for a whole series of reforms for the working man. I'm sure that many of you will remember that iconic mural in John Frost Square commemorating the Chartist Rising. It was terrible to see that mural destroyed by developers while building a shopping centre. While, of course, that investment was good for this city, we must insist that local councils do more to protect our heritage and our history when development takes place. New developments shouldn't erase special and unique local features, history, or place names. What is progress if we forget those who went before us? It's important to remember those political struggles, for they gave us our rights, and they remind us that our rights were hard won. Plaid Cymru will always speak out against those who want to sell off our heritage and our history to the highest bidder. The chief objective of the Chartists was control. Control over their work, over their townships, over their lives. Like today, many people felt that they had so little control, and that is why we can learn from this history. Our democracy is not delivering for so many people. People in many parts of Wales feel like they are not getting their fair share, that they are being left out, neglected. People have found themselves on the outside, and that's why we need a new charter for democratic control. And central to that should be the premise that decisions about Wales should be made in Wales. A modern-day Chartism should consider matters of equality, especially income inequality, and justice too. It must mean that following the vote to leave the European Union, Wales does not lose any funding, any of the democratic rights and protections that we currently enjoy. It must mean that we do not lose any aspect of our nationhood. A modern-day Welsh Charter designed to defend our country, extend our democracy, protect our environment and strengthen our communities. A charter for governing ourselves as a nation, for taking more responsibility, whether in the Assembly or in the Council chamber, or indeed anywhere else. Instead of leaving it to others elsewhere to govern us on our behalf, we should make and enforce our own laws and run our own justice system. That's control. The Party of Wales says no to concentrating power in London and yes to making our own choices and our own decisions. And it's only through voting for Plaid Cymru that we in Wales will be in control of our own lives. and the Party of Wales will settle for nothing less. We will stand up for Wales and for the principle of taking more control over our own affairs so that we can make improvements in people's lives. Following last May's elections, there has been progress on a number of Plaid Cymru's priorities. In fact, you'd be hard-pressed to find any progress in Cardiff Bay that isn't down to Plaid Cymru. Let's take the example of the new Treatments Fund. This will open up new medicines and treatments for rare diseases, especially cancer, a policy that was inspired by Irfon and Rebecca Williams, which will help some people's lives saved and help others to live longer. The Party of Wales said that the way that drugs were being accessed in Wales wasn't fair, and we called for the system to be changed. The First Minister said it couldn't be done, but Plaid Cymru made it happen. And by challenging and persuading, we have made other things happen too. That budget included extra funds for childcare, for apprenticeships, for local government, for mental health services, and for our capital investment priorities. The job now is to make sure that all of it's delivered to benefit every part of this country. And we will do that by continuing to hold this Labour government to account. Too many communities in Wales feel neglected, left behind by the government in Cardiff Bay and the government in Westminster. My message to people in those communities is that Plaid Cymru will stand up for you, and we will never apologise for securing investment for places which are not getting their fair share. There's no doubt that we live in an unbalanced Wales, an unequal Wales. Anyone who tries to travel around this country can see firsthand the problems that we've got with our transport infrastructure. Still, too many people are without broadband communications. Jobs, wealth, prosperity are not spread evenly throughout the country. I hear the same feelings of neglect in the former coalfield as I do in Newtown and Wrexham, in Porthmadog and Bangor. Challenging those geographic inequalities is vital. At Westminster, under the Tories, wealth and opportunity is being redistributed in the wrong way, Robin Hood in reverse, and the same is happening in Wales. The Labour government is recreating the problem here, where there's an overheated centre at the expense of everywhere else. Here in the southeast, hopes are being pinned on a city-region deal. The deal spends a relatively small pot of money amongst almost half of our country's local authorities and half of our population. £1.2 billion, but spread over 20 years. How will that rebalance the economy? It's not good enough. Elsewhere in our country, we saw plans at election time for a North Wales metro. That plan features a map of North Wales, which includes Chester and Liverpool, but not Conwy and Gwynedd. The Welsh Government showed it wasn't serious about rebalancing Wales with the new Welsh Revenue Authority. Porthmadog and Wrexham were overlooked, despite having 400 existing tax workers between them. Now, the Revenue Authority will be a relatively small organisation with just 40 posts initially. But that number of jobs will grow, and even 40 jobs would make a far greater impact in a smaller town. As it stands, the decision has been made to locate the Revenue Authority in Treforest. When I called for as many of those jobs as possible to be filled locally, what was the First Minister's answer? That most of the jobs will go to specialists from London. Now, the First Minister is responsible for skills in Wales. Doesn't it say it all that they don't have the skills to fill those posts? And doesn't it say it all about Labour's lack of ambition for Wales? Through making Wales more equal, Plaid Cymru is aiming to unite this country. Inequality divides people and regions, And that is why we are on a mission to rebalance Wales, to equalise Wales. And we've started already. We've put the Carmarthen to Aberystwyth rail link on the agenda, securing £300,000 for a feasibility study, bringing that project closer to reality. When completed, Plaid Cymru will have secured the most significant railway in Wales since the beaching cuts of the 1960s. And we'll be doing everything in our power to get that delivered. In South East Wales, we are pushing for the City Deal to include guaranteed investment in former coalfield communities and for a specifically special designated role for Newport. We've said that work on the metro should begin at those points furthest away from the centre. And we won't back a city deal which sucks people and even more traffic into Cardiff, where Plaid Cymru councillors have been campaigning against congestion and overdevelopment. Let's be clear, the Party of Wales is proud of our capital city, and we will do everything in our power to protect its people from Labour's local development plan. We will back a city deal which shares the wealth properly. We want the next Admiral, the next Welsh success story to be headquartered somewhere like Aberdare or Treherbert or Mardy. We want a regional policy which creates a successful capital city with viable communities connected to it, a thriving Cardiff and a prosperous hinterland. And we see this as a way of giving a future to the people throughout the South East who are struggling at present to see an economic future. Conference, Plaid Cymru has maximised our advantage to wrestle concessions from government. You've seen our programme for opposition, setting out what it is we want to achieve. What we've won so far will help people in all of our communities, and it will help rebalance Wales. But that is only a glimpse of the change that Wales needs. They're just small steps on the journey to a stronger, self-sufficient nation. Imagine how much more we could do if the Party of Wales replaced Labour as the strongest party in Wales. Look at the talent that I've got in the Plaid Cymru team in the Assembly. Look at the ideas and the determination coming out of that team. Plaid Cymru remains the change Wales needs. And I want to reiterate today that a Plaid Cymru government is our #1 aim. The Assembly isn't the only arena where we're making a difference. Plaid Cymru has the hardest working Welsh MPs in Westminster in 2016, and that is official. More contributions, more questions, and more activity than any other party. And don't we need them? Where was the official opposition when the Article 50 vote went through? What use is it, after the event, to say the real fight starts now? How exasperating. No, the real fight started way before June the 23rd, but the official opposition weren't listening. Plaid Cymru laid a raft of amendments to the Article 50 legislation, all intended to protect the Welsh national interest. We said, after the referendum, that we would use every platform we had to hold the Leave side to account for their promises. It was about making the Prime Minister recognise what is good for Wales, but also what is at stake for Wales. Our Westminster team refused to give the UK Prime Minister a blank cheque to carry out the hardest, most damaging form of Brexit. People who don't want to sever ties with Europe will remember that it was Plaid Cymru who stood up for them and voted against this Conservative Westminster government. There can be no greater priority for our party right now than upholding the Welsh national interest during the months ahead as the UK government begins the process of leaving the European Union. Scotland has a confident and strong government standing up for their interests. Northern Ireland has a special position due to the peace process. But what about Wales? Initially, Labour didn't know whether it wanted us to be in the single market or out. Do you remember how they ended up voting with the Conservatives and UKIP to rule out participation in the European Economic Area or the European Free Trade Association? Having criticised Labour for that vote, we couldn't allow for that to be the Welsh position ahead of the negotiations with Theresa May and the UK government. She would have used that vote as evidence that Wales wanted nothing to do with the European single market. When we had an opportunity to step up to the plate and co-author the Welsh White Paper for the EU negotiations, we had to take it. We set out a clear set of demands to secure Wales's future. In that paper, single market participation is the priority for the Welsh economy. This means we want EEA or EFTA membership in a soft Brexit, or the same tariff-free access to the European single market as we have now. Being in the European single market is not just about trade. It means setting a high bar, not lowering it when it comes to workers' rights, consumer rights, and protecting our precious environment. Environmental regulation isn't red tape. It has ensured cleaner beaches and seas, helping to transform the coastline of Wales and tourism here. It makes sure that countries have a legal duty to reduce pollution, to have a healthy natural environment to leave to our children. We can keep these benefits when we're outside the EU, and we must. The Party of Wales will not sign up to deregulation, cost-cutting, or a TTIP-style deal with America. Plaid Cymru will not endorse any Brexit which weakens our public services or stops our students and young people from having the right to study abroad. And we will keep repeating this. In the Welsh NHS, you are more likely to be treated by a migrant than to see one in the queue. We cannot and we will not support any deal which makes it harder to recruit those skilled workers that we need. And I reiterate, to those people who want to come to Wales to work as doctors, as nurses, as engineers, you are welcome here. And to all of those people who have moved here from overseas, the Party of Wales will never join in with the calls from those who make you feel you don't deserve to be here. We will speak out for you when your rights are infringed at home or abroad. The new presidency in the United States has seen travellers from a host of majority Muslim countries put under instant suspicion. And the suspicion is now being felt by Welsh people who are Muslim as well. Joel Mia is a Welsh maths teacher who was born in Swansea. Loved by his pupils and respected by parents and colleagues at Llangatwg School, he was thrown off a plane when US officials denied him the right to visit the country on a school trip. He's been given no reason and no explanation. Well, I think I know the reason. They think there's something wrong with his surname. It sounds too Bangladeshi, perhaps, too Muslim, maybe. Joel Mia wrote to me after the incident. He said that he believed that Plaid Cymru would support him, and we will. I will be working with him until we get an explanation. That's the very least he can expect. In case there was any doubt at all, Plaid Cymru will stand up for all citizens in this country, everyone who belongs to Wales should be treated with respect. If you live here and you want to be Welsh, then as far as we are concerned, you are Welsh, and your rights will be defended by the Party of Wales. Conference, I want to reaffirm today that Plaid Cymru will not accept any negotiation which undermines our farming sector and our rural communities. I've already told the UK Secretary of State for EU withdrawal that we expect all of our farming payments to be guaranteed for the future. Not a Barnett share, but nothing less than the amount our farmers are already getting now. We expect a fair financial deal for Welsh agriculture, and we expect control in Wales as to how that money is allocated. Plaid Cymru would then use that policy to control and prioritise the struggling hill farmers and dairy farmers. In these uncertain times, the Party of Wales wants the whole country to stand behind Welsh farming. The people who work our land and produce top-quality food are essential to our way of life and to the Welsh language. So I will pledge today that a Plaid Cymru government in Cardiff, as well as Plaid Cymru-led local authorities, will do all they can to buy local and to buy from Wales. And I would urge all people, wherever you are, to buy Welsh meat and Welsh dairy and all other Welsh food products. Because when times are tough, we in Plaid Cymru don't walk away from our rural communities. We stand with them. Conference, is fair to ask what happens when the Prime Minister and her Brexit team reject the Welsh position, when they confirm a hard Brexit which doesn't prioritise our membership of the single market. Plaid Cymru will continue to speak for Wales as the situation evolves. Signing up to the joint white paper with the Welsh Government doesn't preclude us from developing our own proposals, and it doesn't mean that we're tied to any party. We will produce our own contingency plans. I'm not going to show our cards too early. Wales and Scotland are currently still negotiating with the UK government. But whatever happens, Plaid Cymru is planning its vision for Wales in the world. We'll make sure that the idea that we've reached the end of Welsh nationhood is completely rejected. It won't happen. Those who might be happy for Wales as an entity to disappear are going to be very disappointed. Under a Plaid Cymru government, Wales will develop the full international presence enjoyed by Europe and the world's most powerful sub-state nations. Learning lessons from stateless nations like the Basque Country, Catalonia, Flanders and Quebec, Wales under Plaid Cymru will become more active on the international scene, and we will retain substantial links with the rest of Europe. But even more importantly, Plaid Cymru will do everything in our power to secure Welsh nationhood. The days of settling for second best are long over, and we say that any deal offered to Scotland over Brexit must also be available to Wales. When it comes to sustaining our nationhood and making our own decisions, the Wales Bill that is now going through Parliament is a grave disappointment. Plaid Cymru believes that it could lead to a Westminster power grab, that Welsh legislation and Welsh power could be undermined by the UK government. That's why our team in Westminster will be launching a Hands Off Our Parliament campaign, and I'd encourage everyone who wants greater control in Wales to get behind that campaign. When the so-called Great Repeal Bill is tabled, the Party of Wales will ensure that there are political consequences for any government or any party which tries to use that bill to strip powers away from Wales. I was part of the St David's Day process. The Tories asked party leaders what we wanted to see in the Wales Bill. It gives me no pleasure to say it was the worst way of drawing up legislation that I have ever witnessed. The Welsh Conservative leader vetoed the devolution of policing, even though policing powers were being transferred to Greater Manchester. Good enough for Manchester, but not apparently good enough for Wales. That was bad enough, but at least no devolution of police into Wales is Conservative policy. Labour MPs from Wales disagreed with their own policy and their own First Minister by joining in with that veto. So we're stuck here again with a piece of legislation that doesn't give people the powers that they deserve. It's true, we can partially devolve income tax and improve the electoral system, but we strongly believe that our powers will be limited in other areas, and that bill could lead to a Westminster power grab, and that's why we refuse to give our consent to the Wales Bill. The days of Plaid Cymru signing up to weak deals are over. Friends, there are at present other threats to our nationhood. UKIP has a presence in our National Assembly on the back of people's grievances. In the last election of the major parties, Plaid Cymru and UKIP were the only two parties to see the vote share increase. This means there are two different options for Welsh voters who are disillusioned with Labour and the Conservatives. The Welsh nationalism of Plaid Cymru, a party rooted in Welsh communities, proudly standing up for Wales and believing in equality and justice for all, outward-looking, welcoming, internationalist, or the nostalgic British nationalism of UKIP, looking for opportunities to sow division and questioning any move to make Wales more self-governing or more self-respecting. They are inward-looking and isolationist. I wouldn't agree that UKIP has shaken up the Senedd. If anything, they've settled in. They are deliberately holding back from proposing anything controversial and are happy to support the motions and ideas of other parties. But we should be wary about that, especially at the local level. We saw how UKIP tried to muscle in on the campaign against Welsh medium education in Llangennech. Dwi a llawer o rieni wedi dewis gadael un plant elwa o gael addysg Cymraeg yn ogystal â dysgu Saesneg. Ond roedd yn dragedi gweld gwleidyddion UKIP yn ymryd I geisio stopo ragor o blant rhag elwa. Fel welon ni ymgyrch yng Nghatre Eileen a Trevor Beasley, Catre Hywel Teifi. Mae'n atgoffa ni gyd I ddewis ein cyfeillion gyda gofal. Mae hefyd yn atgoffa ni o'n cyfrifoldeb pa bynnag blaid ydyn ni I fynd i'r afael gyda cwymp yn nefnydd yr iaith. Ac mae hefyd yn atgoffa'r pleidiau eraill sy'n cefnogi'r nod o gael miliwn o siaradwyr Cymraeg. Nad yw geiriau gwag yn ddigon, bod angen gweithredu, a bod angen I ni gefnogi penderfyniadau fel un cyngor Sir Gar yn Llangennech. Conference, people in Wales know that Plaid Cymru will work to secure the best possible deal for Wales as the negotiations to leave the EU take place. People know our values and they expect us to stand up for Wales. But they also know the business of running the country will carry on regardless. Wales still needs the same change as it did during the Assembly elections last year. On May the 4th, you will again go to the ballot box to elect your local councillors. These elections should be about how Wales is governed at the local level. People have an opportunity to send a message to Labour in Cardiff and to the Tories in Westminster that we will no longer stand by and allow our communities to be ignored as local services are downgraded, closed down or sold off. There are those who might not be convinced that Wales needs change, that Wales doesn't need to send some kind of message at these local elections. But the need for change is evident. Does anyone need reminding? A quarter of Welsh people live in poverty, a third of Welsh children. In some councils, senior officer pay is way out of control, while lower pay grades are just now being unfrozen. In Labour-led Caerphilly, not far from here, the Party of Wales exposed the pay scandal, which cost £4.5 million that could have been spent on local services. Where Plaid Cymru has had long-term influence, there are curbs in place on senior officer pay. The need for change is evident in education. Wales has gone backwards in the PISA education rankings when ministers promised improvement. Welsh workers are getting paid 10% less than the UK average. Waiting times in health lag behind Scotland and England, with 25% of Welsh patients waiting longer than 6 weeks for an MRI scan. I could go on. Conference. Wales cannot afford to keep rewarding a legacy of failure. Plaid Cymru is your local party, your community party. We are on the side of the people, not the political establishment or the bureaucratic elite. In an increasing number of places, we are the people. We come from our communities and represent the people in them. I want this party to be rooted in the towns, villages and cities of Wales. I'm not interested in a party that speaks to people. Plaid Cymru speaks for people, with people. Our conversations are a two-way dialogue, not a broadcast, and through those conversations, the tide is turning. Beneath the surface, something is happening. In the last year, Plaid Cymru gained more council seats in by-elections than any other party. Labour and the Conservatives went backwards. In Grangetown in Cardiff, Ceel y Cwm in Carmarthenshire, Blaen Gwrach in Neath, people backed our local Plaid Cymru teams. And I want to thank our community champions in those areas for securing victory. Diolch yn fawr I chi gyd. Welsh citizens know that Plaid Cymru has a strong track record in local government. Where we lead the local authorities, we are pushing ahead with improvements. Our priorities are strengthening our communities, caring for people with compassion and building affordable housing targeted at local need. In Carmarthenshire, shovels are already in the ground. The Plaid-led council in Sirgar is building some of the county's first council houses for many years. Carmarthenshire has risen up the league table for preventing homelessness. Since Plaid Cymru took over, the Wales Audit Office has commended Carmarthenshire for delivering improved outcomes. Plaid Cymru is restoring the county's good name. Ceredigion Council is spending the most money per pupil for education in the whole of the country. And under the Party of Wales, Ceredigion is in the top 3 councils for almost all of the major education indicators. In the league table for people's perception of the quality of council services, all 4 Plaid Cymru-led authorities score above average, with Plaid-led Conwy Council topping the league. And Plaid Cymru-run Gwynedd Council has been innovative in its compassion and care for local people. Gwynedd has alleviated more than £600,000 of bedroom tax payments, enough to protect 1,409 households from the insidious Tory bedroom tax. Plaid Cymru councils are innovating and leading Wales in areas as diverse as social housing, education and clean streets that we can all be proud of. All of us in this conference hall can be proud of our excellent Plaid Cymru councils. And they make the case for there to be more Plaid Cymru control right across the country. Friends, control over our communities is in our hands. Cast your minds back to last year's elections, when we said Plaid Cymru was the change Wales needs. We know from the Wales election study that most people who saw the election coverage thought that we had the best campaign. They also thought that we did the best in the TV debates. And yes, that study says that we had the best candidate for First Minister. But the same data showed that most people didn't watch the coverage at all. In recent weeks, we've seen a continued decline in Welsh newspaper sales and a far lower investment in BBC Wales than Scotland is going to receive. There is no shortcut around the Welsh media deficit. In the last election, people voted for Plaid Cymru in the greatest numbers where we were the most active on the ground. That's where we can make a difference. It's as simple as that. To everyone who wants to see a Plaid Cymru community champion standing up for their local patch, I say to you, get out there and support your local Plaid Cymru candidates. There is still time to make a difference, and you can make it. Let's demonstrate that the Party of Wales is on the up, that the Welsh nation is moving forward, stronger, and let's show people that our team is a winning team. And to all of the people who make up this wonderful nation of ours, I say this: we don't have to keep accepting second best. We don't have to keep putting up with neglect with the same political parties who've let people down time and time again. We don't have to put up with dirty streets, with downgraded services, with our young people struggling to find opportunities. This is an opportunity for your community and for your country. Don't let Wales be ignored. Send that message that we exist, that we matter. Stand up for your interests and for your own control, just like the Chartists did here all those years ago. Give your backing to Plaid Cymru. Join with us as we put in place the building blocks of a successful, more equal and outward-looking Wales. Building a strong nation starts in your street. Building the new Wales starts with us and with you. Diolch yn fawr.